Spectacular sky. Wait for this sunrise. So happy to be up here on the foothills of Mount Arbel, and it's actually all around. We better get this cloud before it all fades with the emerging sun. Look at back here. The incredible intensity of creation, but also how fleeting all these impressions are, because that light changes so fast. And that amazing work of art before our eyes will morph quickly, in seconds, indefinitely in minutes. And in an hour's time we'll be putting on our hat, and long before that, to protect us from the heat of the sun. I'm out here today because of a request from some of our people to walk around where the tombs are here, and I will show you some of that now as well. Right here, I hope. Oops, it's very rough ground, as you can see here. So if I'm not looking and I step in one of these stones, then you might hear an oop. And there we have Tiberias and Mount Arbel. We're up here just a little bit. Oh, there's the sun. The sun beat me again, but just by a second. So there we have the sun rising. Look at how things are going to change now in such a short time. Look at the border on the clouds. Before that was a reddish border about 3 minutes ago, and now it's a whiter border, or you can say a silver lining. A silver lining in the cloud. And there emerges the sun this morning for our eyes to behold, and our heart to beat faster, to beat with joy, to beat with hope and love and faith. What a gift. And before it gets noisy, let me show you something that's happening, although the traffic is mounting. But here we have this fellow down here, and he's going to launch his jet ski. There we go, we just got him right now. And he'll make all the noise that wants to leave from his heart. And there's the fullness of the sun, but the cloud is going to block it again in a little bit, providing wonderful color. And I already have one of the tombs or burial spots right under my eye here, but not, I have to walk a little bit further to get it because it's straight down beneath me. So I'll show you that. And this all matches perfectly without me realizing it with the readings today, absolutely incredibly. This couldn't be a better spot for today's readings. For a number of reasons. For the already natural commentary on nature, the fleetingness of nature, of impressions. How long does sunrise last? How long does color remain in the clouds? And if I turn around, but I don't want to miss what we have in front of us, to see the clouds we saw a moment ago, they've changed already quite a lot. And therefore we have this wonderful reading in Kohelet, this book of the Old Testament, probably 3 to 4 centuries before Christ. And this book opens with that famous line, vanity of vanities. There's a little suggestion in the first line, that's line 2, of who wrote it, the son of the king, somebody in Jerusalem, somebody studying wisdom, the wisdom of the ages, the wisdom of the scriptures, the wisdom of life experience. Vanity of vanities. All is vanity. All is a breath. Now look at that red light here. Well, not really red. This path of light in the lake right over there to the sun. How long will that last? How long do the waves last that come to the shore? It's one of the great sonnets, right? About the waves, our life's unstoppable flow, and it's ending. I'm working my way down here gradually. It's a little steep, to show you our first tomb here, our burial spot. And there's actually two of them, and it's right here. So presumably people were laid to rest here. It could be a couple. And there we have a second one. So I'm just putting in my stick here so you get an idea. We hit that wall that we don't go through, a wall of death. We can't go deeper there, you know, that's it. Our time is up. And that little head that emerged from the mother's womb disappears under the tombstone. There are actually tombstones around here as well. There are lids for some of these burial spots that we identified over a year ago with Mati Aviam. We had a little walk together here. The famous archaeologist. So let's go and explore a few more. So, vanity of vanities, all is vanity. There's no meaning in life, or what is the meaning, maybe is a better way to say it. There's a search for meaning. What is the meaning of life? I think this is another stone with a burial chamber in it. Or maybe it's not. I just have to refresh my memory. I don't see that obviously here, but there's a bunch of them all around here, so we'll just keep on exploring. Here we have the buckthorns. Nice homes for the wild boar. And they stay green during the summertime, so they provide good shade, a little cooler. Whereas a lot of other vegetation dies quickly here. Yeah, here we have another tomb in front of us. Our place of burial. Hey, look at our little friends. We didn't see these guys for a long time. And they're busy harvesting. Look at the size of the packages they're delivering. I wonder if this guy seems to be taking it out. They seem to be taking out these things. Maybe they're moving home and they have a company in to move their furniture. All these are coming out apparently, and they're having a struggle to get out. And they're moving along here. Marvelous. And so we have one big graveyard here that's a couple of hundred yards long. That's from the Roman period. Probably some burials later still. Now look at the sky, it's so different. And here you can start recognizing another one. So here's this. So this might be the head here. It's a little rounded. And it looks more square at the other end, so presumably this could have been for the head. Sorry, I'm having difficulty in balancing the phone so it stays focused for you. But there you can see it. Just to give you proportional references there. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. And now the sun triumphs over the clouds. And that's what the human being longs for, that triumph over all the clouds about the meaning of our life. Those clouds that were so red and blushing a moment ago are now gone pale, the paleness of death, of less significance, of dying, of fading, of, like all the grass that was here, all the vegetation, all the weeds, all the thistles. And the cows have made fast work of them over the summer, but the sun has made faster work on drying them up and shriveling them up. So we have more of these all along here. So let's go and see if we find a couple of more for you before we sign off. But then we have the second reading, and it's kind of a Tiberius reading because it's Herod Antipas, and he's trying to figure out who is this Jesus, and he hears all these things about him, and his conscience is getting at him. Conscience. His conscience is getting at him because he's put John the Baptist to death, and he's asking himself the question, has John the Baptist risen from the dead? And this is a king that's more busy with earthly pleasures than life's meaning is taught. But who can escape life's meaning, especially when a little child dies? And here we have a burial of a child. Look at again the round part here. And then the square part at the other end, if I'm reading that correctly. And look at the length of this. So this is, let's put in that stick for you there. Gosh, I'm having a real hard time controlling the balance of the camera. So then my hand covers this unit here, let's say, of the bamboo stick here. You know, from that notch to this notch. So this is just about 3 feet, a meter. That's going to be easier this way. So I can put my hand in as well for you to see. The width of it. So it's about it's about 3 feet, maybe a little bit more than 3 feet, 40 inches, meter. And the sadness of that moment when those parents buried that child. The meaning of life. And so Herod is now struggling with resurrection. So this is obviously a text that's referring to 3 centuries later than the Kohelet book. So that's very interesting. You see, there's a huge change has happened, and we saw the debates between the Pharisees and the Sadducees that are rampant in the first century because the Sadducees don't want to accept this thought about resurrection, but it has prevailed, and it's emerging. And then obviously with the that preparation, that mental preparation, that great quest for eternity is the perfect ground preparation for the seed of the resurrection. News of Easter Sunday morning, a seed that has grown to transform world thinking. It has been the seed of whole new culture and life and hope. Oh, here we have a lid of a tomb. You see this stone, it's nicely cut and it's the size that's needed. And so Marty Avian was figuring there's probably a tomb real nearby unless people moved this one. So it goes from here to here. You can see the width of it. And it's sitting there I'm not sure if he would think that there's a burial chamber right underneath it, or if it's taken away from where it belonged. And here we have another structure. You can see it sticking in the ground here. That's too regular to be an accident of nature. And here, this looks like another tomb, and I don't have Marty with me to confirm it, but it looks like a circular shape here, and a semicircular, and then this would be also a small tomb from what remains of evidence here. And so all the way down here, and I'm going to finish shortly, but I just point to you in the distance, I think we've done this a few times in past years, is this big stone here that everybody sees from the road, and the guides point out to their bus full of tourists or passengers or pilgrims about this multiple burial space on this rock, which Monte Aviam thinks rolled down from further up. And I don't have enough knowledge to explain the reasons for all that, or it's not fresh in my mind. So we leave it like that for today, and we believe in the resurrection of the dead and life everlasting, and the meaning of every act of kindness and goodness and pursuit of truth and helpfulness to others. People, God bless you from Mount Arbel this morning. See you later, alligators. It's always a joy.